Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where obvious answers mean nothing and obscure answers mean everything. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hello, I'm Lisa. This is my dad, Bob, and we're from Euston in Chesley Street.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Dave. This is my girlfriend, Paula, and we're both from Canterbury in Kent.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Kat. This is my husband, Toby, and we're from High Wycombe.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Steve, and this is my friend Simon. We're friends and work colleagues. I live in Malvern, Simon lives in Bicester.
And these are today's contestants. So that just leaves one more person for me to introduce. He's not letting success go to his head if you ignore the Bono-inspired sunglasses, the chauffeur-driven car, and the fact that he now only answers to his Osman-ness. It's my pointless friend, it's his Osman-ness.
Hiya. Hi, everyone. Hiya. Oh, afternoon.
And to you.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How about you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm not too bad. Yeah. Mustn't grumble.
No, you mustn't.
Talking of grumbling, I would be grumbling if I was on podium one with this first question today.
Oh, really?
I think it's a tough question to be on podium one for.
Start.
Because it's one of those ones where people are going to know answers, but it's going to take... You have to calculate some stuff, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's going to take a little while.
Thank you, Richard.
Pleasure.
Now, all our questions on Pointless have been put to 100 people before the show, and our contestants here need to find the obscure answers those 100 people didn't get. Everyone's trying, of course, to find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add 250 quid to the jackpot. Now, James and Tom didn't win the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that, so today's jackpot starts off at £7,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, in this first round, I'll take an answer from each of you, but there is to be no conferring. Whichever pair has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated, so try and make sure that's not you. OK, our first category today is cities. Cities. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns host cities. Host cities, Richard.
In a moment, Xander's going to show you a list of 5 events or celebrations, and we're looking for the name of any city that has hosted one of these in the 21st century, please. So any city that's been the host of one of the following 5 things from 2000 through to the end of 2012. Very best of luck.
Thanks very much indeed. So, as Richard just mentioned, I'm going to put 5 events up on the board. They will remain on the board for the entire round, so up the line and back down. You just have to name any city that has ever hosted one or more of these events since 2000. OK, are you ready? Here are the 5 events. European Capital of Culture, Eurovision Song Contest, FIFA World Cup final match, Summer Olympic Games, Winter Olympic Games. I'll read those all one last time. European Capital of Culture, Eurovision Song Contest, FIFA World Cup final match, Summer Olympic Games, Winter Olympic Games. There we are. Now then, Lisa. Welcome to the show. Great to have you here. What do you do, Lisa?
I'm a civil servant.
Can we ask which bit of the civil service you're in?
Well, I work in the police, but I can't be specific.
And in your spare time, Lisa, what do you like doing?
Well, until very recently, I was a wrestler. And now I just attend the
Really?
shows. Yes.
You were a wrestler?
Yes.
Why have you stopped wrestling?
Because I was getting too broken. I'd broken about 3 bones, so I thought it was time to give up.
Yeah, what's your wrestling name?
It was Georgie Shaw. I played an angry Geordie girl.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lisa, there we are. There we are. I've given you a little bit of time to think. I wasn't really giving you any time to think at all. I was asking you questions about wrestling, but still.
I'm going to take a guess at this capital of culture, and I'm going to say Liverpool.
Liverpool. Yeah. Liverpool, says Lisa. Sounds good to me. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Liverpool. It's absolutely right. Down it goes. Woo! 26 for Liverpool. Good answer, Lisa.
Well played, Lisa. It was tough on that first podium, so you've done very well there. Yeah, Liverpool was the city culture in 2008.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now, Paula, welcome to the show.
Hello.
And what do you do, Paula?
I'm an insurance manager.
And in your spare time, what do you like to do? What are your hobbies?
Hobbies, I like socialising with my friends.
Good.
Trying to go to the gym.
OK. Now, how long have you and Dave been together?
13 years.
Dave? 13 years, Dave?
Yeah.
Come on, Dave.
Come on, Dave. Right, no, well, here's what you do, is you win, go through to the final and win. Use that jackpot, maybe go somewhere romantic, maybe get down on your knee, Dave.
And then propose.
Well, yes, obviously, yes. What was I was going to tie your shoelaces? Come on. Now, Paula, the first part of that, though, is getting through to the final.
Yes.
What are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for Sydney.
Sydney, says Paula. Sydney. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Sydney. Absolutely right. 26, our score at the moment. You passed 26, go down to 20. Very well done, Paula. Good answer.
Hosted the Summer Olympics in 2000, of course.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, Kat. Kat, welcome to Pointless. What do you do, Kat?
I'm a civil servant as well.
Can I ask what you do?
I work for the Department of Communities and Local Government. So
Good stuff. And in your spare time, what do you do, Kat?
well, I've got 2 little kids, so don't have
So
a lot of
not
spare
a
time.
lot of spare time.
Running
No.
around after
How old are they?
children. 4 and 1.5.
Ooh, good luck with that.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good. Now, how did you and Toby meet?
At work.
Really?
Yes.
Through your civil service?
No, we both used to work for a local council. Toby still works there, but I left and went to central government.
Broke out. Now then, what do you make of this as a... Actually, what do you make of this as a question?
Mine's kind of gone blank. I love Eurovision, watch it every year, and we try and do kind of a, like, you know, we cook recipes from European countries.
What, from all the European countries involved, or it's just the host city?
Yeah,
or,
if we have people around, we like have 5 countries each and look up a recipe and make something random. But I obviously spend too much time doing the cooking while I'm watching it because my mind's gone completely blank for Eurovision. So I'm going to go for something more obvious and say, for the Summer Olympics, Athens.
Athens, says Kat. Athens. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Athens. It's absolutely right. 26 our high score, 20 our low. Well, you passed both of those down to 12. Very well done, Kat. That's a great answer. Athens.
Yes, the Olympics in 2004, but also was Eurovision in 2006 as well. Athens held 2 of them.
Thanks, Richard. Now, Simon, welcome back. Welcome back, our only returning pair to Pointless. Simon, what happened with you last time?
Yeah, we got through to round 2. We survived an opera round that was just sheer carnage, and then we got a sport round, and Steve and I, between us, know absolutely nothing about sport. It's our Achilles leg. Okay. So it was a question about tennis, and we had to name tennis players, and we didn't really cover ourselves in glory at that point.
So, listen, Simon, what are you going to go for?
Yeah, I'm going to go for a punt on the Eurovision Song Contest. I think that was hosted a few years ago in Helsinki.
Helsinki, says Simon. Helsinki. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Helsinki. Absolutely right. Well, 26 our high score, 12 our low. You pass our high score, you pass our low score down to 1. Very well done indeed, Simon. That's a great answer. Helsinki.
Again, Helsinki is an answer for 2 of those categories. It was a European capital of culture in 2000 and hosted Eurovision in 2007.
Thank you. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores as they stand. 1, the very best score of that pass by a margin there, Simon. Very well done. And then we travel up to 12, where we find Kat and Toby, up to 20, where we find Paula and Dave, and up a little bit to 26, where we find Lisa and Bob. You're not way out in front, Bob, but you've got a little bit of time to think of an absolute knockout answer that will keep you in the game. Best of luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, now, Steve, remember, we are looking for the name of any city that's hosted 1 or more of these events since 2000.
I'm trying to not say what I think is a European capital of culture, because if Simon just did 1 and I do 100, I'm not getting home alive. Yeah. So I think I'm going to go for a sports one, and it's going to be Winter Olympic Games in Albertville in France.
Albertville, says Steve. Albertville. Well, you're on 1. The high scorers, Bob and Lisa, on 26. If you can score 24 or less, you'll avoid becoming the new high scorers. Let's see if that's right, Albertville. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Albertville. Oh, Steve, you said if you scored 100 points, you'd never hear the end of it. I think that's what you said. Or did you say you'd get killed? I can't remember. One of the two.
Get killed is probably...
Yeah, well... Maybe a bit of both.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that scores you 100 points. Takes your total up to 101. I'm sorry, Steve, an incorrect answer there.
Sorry, Steve. Yeah, Albertville was 1992, I'm afraid, not 21st century.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now, Toby, welcome to the show.
Hi.
What do you do, Toby?
I'm a traffic engineer for a local council.
Now, tell me what that means. Traffic engineer.
I design road junctions, public realm improvements, yeah, things like that, really.
Now then,
Okay.
Toby.
The pressure's been taken off, so I'm going to go for Beijing Summer Olympics.
Beijing, says Toby. Well, as you say, the high scorers are now away out in front of you, Steve. And so they're still within reach. There they are on 101. You're on 12. 88 or less sees you through to the next round. Let's see if Beijing's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Absolutely right. And you are through. Very well done, Toby. Wow, still at 26 for Beijing. Takes your total up to 38.
2008 Summer Olympics, of course. Toby did exactly what you needed to do there. Well played.
There we are. Now, Dave. Dave, what do you do?
I also work in insurance, and I do what you probably consider the boring job of writing your policy booklets.
So, I'm so sorry. What, I completely dozed off there.
That is the correct reaction.
Are you in the same insurance business as Paula?
No, that's how we met, but Paul has since left that company.
Yeah, I see. Anyway, in your spare time, what do you like to do, Dave?
More recently, I've started to do some stand-up comedy.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
How's that going?
Surprisingly well.
Good stuff. Well, good for you. Fantastic. Now then, let's see if you can get a nice low score here. The high scorers are way out in front of you. Steve and Simon on 101. You're on 20, so 80 or less sees you through.
Well, I'm going to have to do... I think this is right, but it does leave the door open to be wrong. I'm going to say Bloemfontein.
Bloemfontein,
Yeah.
says Dave. Bloemfontein. Now, here comes your red line, quite nice and high. Get below that, you're through to the next round. Let's see if Bloemfontein's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Oh, I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer. Few E's, Steve and Simon. Bad luck, Dave and Paula. That takes your total up to 120.
Sorry, Dave, a gutsy answer, but incorrect, I'm afraid. If it's any consolation, it is funnier to get it wrong than get it right.
Now then, Bob. What do you do, Bob?
I work in a munitions factory making shells for the British Army.
Wow, that needs safe hands, I imagine. I mean, obviously they're not live and loaded when you're
They're not like
putting the final nail.
We just make the actual shell.
What do you get up to in your spare time, Bob?
I play a lot of golf. I mean, a lot of golf. The odd game of squash, and I like doing cricket crosswords.
Now then, you're on 26. You have to score 93 or less to stay in the game, Bob.
I'm hoping this was in the 21st century. I've got to go for it. I can't think of anything else. I'll say European capital of culture with Gateshead.
Gateshead. Gateshead. Georgie Shaw to your left is getting quite cross about that. But let's see. Gateshead. It could be right. What do you think, Lisa?
Not right. We might as well go now.
Well, let's just find out, shall we? Bob says Gateshead. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Gateshead. Let's see if it's right. There's your red line, Bob. If you get below that red line, you are through to the next round. Gateshead. No! Bad luck. Bad luck.
Must have been in the running.
It was Newcastle, but that lost out to Liverpool.
Oh, Bob, I'm sorry. I'm afraid that's
right.
that's an incorrect answer. Scores you the maximum of 100 points.
No.
Takes your total up to 126.
Lisa is mad with Bob, isn't
I
she?
know, isn't she? Wow.
Oh, really mad.
Yeah.
Newcastle, Gateshead did apply in the same when Liverpool got it, but so it did apply, and Gateshead would have been an answer if it had got it, but unfortunately didn't. Oh, right. I'm afraid. But
I knew they were in the running.
exactly. It's
Oh,
not...
look, you're backtracking.
God, Georgie Shaw.
No wonder you were a wrestler. Blimey. You must have had to tone it down a bit when you got on stage.
Should he blame me at the end of the...
Funnily enough, if you just said London, you'd be in the next round. 79 points that would have scored
Oh,
you.
I
if you
was
said
going to say London, but I thought
Oh,
it
were
was
you
too
going to
high.
say London, were you?
But it was only last year when it was on.
I thought that was going to be
It'd
up
be too high,
98, London.
90s or something.
Well, it doesn't matter. Could I give it a shot? All right, OK.
Let's take a look at some of the pointless answers here. The European capital of culture, there's loads of them actually, and lots of them are pointless as well. But Belgrade was at Eurovision Song Contest. Would have been a pointless answer. Bruges, European capital of culture. Istanbul was both Eurovision Song Contest and capital of culture. Should rule each other out, shouldn't they? But they don't. All of these were European capitals of culture: Luxembourg, Porto, and Reykjavik. And here, Riga was Eurovision Song Contest, Rotterdam, another capital of culture, and Turin was an answer for the Winter Olympics. Let's take a look at the top 3 answers overall. Beijing, 26, Liverpool, 26, and London up the top there with 79. Gateshead, not to be seen. Not to be seen.
Well, thanks very much indeed, Richard. So at the end of our first round, I'm afraid the pair we'll be sending home with their high score of 126 is Bob and Lisa. Oh, dear, Gateshead, Bob. Well, listen, maybe this could be looked upon as the foundation of Gateshead's...
Well, they've been in the run and they went in for it, haven't they?
It's high time they were. Anyway, Bob, Lisa, I'm sorry we have to say goodbye to you now, but we'll look forward to seeing you again next time. It's been great having you on the show. Thanks so much for playing Bob and Lisa. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. OK, so now we're down to 3 pairs, and obviously there's only going to be room for 2 pairs in our head-to-head round, so we'll be saying goodbye to another pair at the end of this round. Now, Dave and Paula, you are one step closer to that engagement ring. Very well done. I was looking a bit touch and go there.
That's what we tried to do there.
Oh, I see. Do you think he threw him...
I
that
think so.
Bloemfontein was there just to... Oh, Dave, what a low trick. Oh, you're not going to get away with that this round. No, no, no. Anyway, best of luck to all 3 pairs, but particularly Dave and Paula. Our category for round 2 is people. It's people. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second?
2.
And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns famous people with surnames that begin with Muk. Famous people with surnames that begin with Muk. I'm guessing that is Muk, it's not MC.
Yes, it's Muk. On each pass, we're going to give you 6 clues to famous people whose surnames begin with Muk. Can you tell us the most obscure, please? It's going to be 12 in all to have a go at home. Good luck. Thanks very much indeed. So we're looking for these famous people whose surnames begin with Muk. And here's our first board of 6 clues. Former member of Westlife, played Gandalf in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, wrote the memoir Angela's Ashes, lost to Barack Obama in the 2008 US presidential election, member of the Beatles, and the Australian fast bowler who took 563 test wickets. I'll read those all one last time. Former member of Westlife, played Gandalf in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, wrote the memoir Angela's Ashes, lost to Barack Obama in the 2008 US presidential election, member of the Beatles, and the Australian fast bowler who took 563 test wickets. There we go. 6 people whose surnames begin with Muk, Paula.
I'm going to go for the top one and say Brian McFadden.
Brian McFadden, says Paula. Brian McFadden. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Brian McFadden. Absolutely right. Good answer, 14. Not bad at all. Richard.
In the Guinness Book of Records for having 7 consecutive #1 singles, Westlife. Amazing, isn't it?
Thanks very much indeed. Now then, Cat. Cat, people whose names begin with Muk.
Got one I could go for, but it'd be a big risk, so I'm not going to go quite so risky. I'm going to say lost to Barack Obama, John McCain.
John McCain, says Cat. Let's see if John McCain's right. Let's see how many people said it. Absolutely right. 15. 15. It's all looking very close in this round at this stage.
Well played, Cat. Good answer. Yeah, he was a prisoner of war for 5.5 years during the Vietnam War, John McCain. And half of that is in solitary confinement.
Blimey. Steve. Steve, you're the last person to have this board. Do you fancy filling in all these Muks for us?
2 I know, 2 I don't. I'm going to go with, played Gandalf in Lord of the Rings trilogy, and it's going to be Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen says Steve. Ian McKellen, let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Is it right? It's right. Well, 14 and 15 are our lowest and highest scores, respectively. 21 for Ian McKellen.
Yeah, well played. 21 points. Let's take a look through the rest. And were there any that you would have gone for if you were going to go for a risk on that board?
The Angela's Ashes author, I can, as soon as I hear it, I'll know it. It's that kind of, I can see the book.
Yeah, it's something McSomething, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I think Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
maybe?
you got that, yeah.
And then cricketer, no idea.
Well, let's take a look at Paul McCartney, see how much he would have scored. It would have got you 90 points and a punishingly high score. Wrote the memoir Angela's Ashes.
Frank McCourt, is it?
Frank McCourt, yeah. And would have scored 9 points. And the Australian fast
Glenn
bowler?
McGrath.
Glenn McGrath, yeah, well played. 4 points. That's the best answer on the board.
Thanks very much indeed. OK, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand. 14, the best score of that past Paula. Very well done indeed. There it is. Then up to 15, where we find Kat and Toby, and then up to 21, where we find Steve and Simon. You're not madly out in front, Simon, but you are in front. We will need a low score from you. Very best of luck. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 6 more clues up on the board, and here they are. We have got played Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars prequels, footballer who played for Liverpool and Real Madrid, US tennis player who won 3 Wimbledon men's singles titles in the early 1980s, won the Booker Prize for his novel Amsterdam, played Alex in Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of A Clockwork Orange, and the second female president of the Republic of Ireland. I'll read those all one last time. Played Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars prequels, a footballer who played for Liverpool and Real Madrid, US tennis player who won 3 Wimbledon men's singles titles in the early 1980s, won the Booker Prize for his novel Amsterdam, played Alex in Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of A Clockwork Orange, and second female president of the Republic of Ireland. There we are, 6 more mooks. And Simon, obviously you're going to try and find the one you think the fewest of our 100 people knew. You are the high scorers at this point.
I'm going to go for... Played Alex in Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of A Clockwork Orange. I think it was Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell, says Simon. Malcolm McDowell. No red line for you as you're the high scorers, but let's see how many of our 100 people said Malcolm McDowell. Is right. Good answer, 19. That takes your total up to 40, Simon.
Yeah, very well played. That may well see you through. He was actually born Malcolm Taylor, but Malcolm McDowell is his stage name.
Now then, Toby.
Hello.
Toby, what do you make of this board?
I know 1 or 2, so I'm going to go for the footballer who played for Liverpool and Real Madrid, Steve McManaman.
Steve McManaman, says Toby. Steve McManaman, here comes your red line. If you can score 24 or less, you're in the head-to-head. Will McManaman get you down there? Let's see how many people said it. Yep, it will. Look at that. Very well done. 13. 28, your total.
Well played, the great Steve McManaman. Yeah, he now is a pundit and all sorts of things, McManaman.
Dave, you're the last person to have this board. Do you think you can talk us through it?
No. I genuinely know one answer that's left.
Well, let me tell you, it needs to score 25 or less. Now, every answer given in this round so far has scored less than 25.
Yeah. I think this might be the exception, but I can't make an intelligent guess on the others, so I'm going to have to say the US tennis player and say John McEnroe.
John McEnroe, says Dave. John McEnroe. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said John McEnroe. There's your red line. Well, it's right. Oh, 60, Dave. 60 takes your total up to 74.
You've got to admire the man, haven't you?
Yeah. I know one that he knew for sure.
Yeah. John McEnroe, the 1981 US Open final, he won that as well. Now, Dave, for fun, just... no, I'll fit him in. I'll fit him in, but we know you can. Played Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know that.
I really don't.
Ewan McGregor.
Oh, I know it now. And that would have got...
Would have scored 18 points. Would have seen you safely through. Right at the bottom there, the second female president of the Republic of Ireland was Mary McAleese. Well, I don't know if you said that. 7 points. And the best answer on the board, the writer of Amsterdam, Ian McEwen.
God, yes, of course.
Ian McEwen would have scored you 1 point, so very well done if you said that. Very well played.
Thanks very much indeed. So at the end of our second round, I'm afraid it's Dave and Paula leaving us with their... It's not a massively high score, 74, but it is appreciably higher than our impressive low scores of 28 and 40. Dave and Paula, not this time. Next time, Paula. Next time. I have every confidence. But it's been great having you on the show. Thanks so much for playing. Dave and Paula. But for the remaining two pairs, it's now time for our head-to-head. Congratulations, Toby and Kat, Simon and Steve. You are now only one step away from our final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £7,000. Well, to decide which pair is going to play for that money, you're now going to go head-to-head. The difference is you're now allowed to confer. The first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that money. Now, neither of you have been here before. Obviously, Toby and Kat, you are newcomers. Simon and Steve, it was round 2 last time, so, yes, you've gone one step further. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, relieved. Happy.
Very good indeed. Best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. OK, here comes your first question, and it concerns film aliens. Film aliens, Richard.
We're going to show you 5 images now of alien life forms from various films. We need you to tell us the name of the film that these aliens first appeared in, please. Good luck.
OK, let's reveal our 5 film aliens, and here they are. We have got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are, 5 film aliens. Toby and Kat, you've played best throughout the show so far, so you get to go first.
Take a stab at C.
Yeah, we're going to take a stab at C. Paul.
Paul. OK, Paul, say Toby and Kat. Simon and Steve, the rest of the board is yours. Talk us through it.
Well, we know that E is E.T. We're not sure about B and D, but we think A is Coneheads, and so that's our answer.
Coneheads.
Coneheads.
So we have Paul versus Coneheads. Toby and Kat said Paul. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Paul. It's right. $19 for Paul. Simon and Steve, again, is this another punt, or do you think, are you pretty sure of this?
We're fairly sure.
OK, well, you are saying Coneheads. Let's see if Coneheads is right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Coneheads. It is right. The question is it going to beat 19, though? Down it goes. Oh, 20, look at that. Oh. Toby and Kat, very well done. By the skin of your teeth, you win that question, so you are up 1-0.
Yeah, it's a shocker, that, isn't it? Yeah, let's take a look at some of the other answers. There's a couple of other lower answers out there. B is Vogon from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Would have scored you 6 points. D is from Lilo and Stitch. Would have scored you 10 points. And what do you think E.T. is going to score?
In the 90s, actually. 91.
96. Wow. 96 points.
Thank you very much indeed. So here comes your second question. Simon and Steve, you get to answer this first, but you have to win it to stay in the game. Best of luck. It concerns King George VI. George VI, Richard.
Just going to show you 5 clues now to facts about King George VI. Can you give us the most obscure answer?
OK, let's reveal our 5 clues, and here they are. The year in which he was crowned, the first name of his second daughter, the university he attended from 1919 to 1920, the year in which he died, and the 2010 film in which he was portrayed by Colin Firth. I'll read those all one last time. The year in which he was crowned, the first name of his second daughter, the university he attended from 1919 to 1920, the year in which he died, and the 2010 film in which he was portrayed by Colin Firth. Simon and Steve.
Yeah, we think the year in which he died was 1952.
1952, the year in which he died. 1952, say Simon and Steve. Toby and Kat, the rest of the board is all yours.
Well, I know I think he became king in 1936. First name of his second daughter, Margaret. Don't know the university, maybe Oxford or Cambridge. and the film is The King's Speech. 1936, the year in which he was crowned.
1936, say Toby and Kat, 1936. So we have 1952 versus 1936. Let's see, 1952, said Simon and Steve. Let's see how many people said that, if it's right. Absolutely right, yes. 1952, the year he died. 33. Toby and Kat have said the year in which he was crowned was 1936. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said that. No, bad luck. Bad luck, Toby and Kat, an incorrect answer, which means, Simon and Steve, you're back in the game. After 2 questions, it's 1-1, Richard.
I'm sorry, it's 1937, I'm afraid. Would have scored you 14 points as well. You were right about Margaret being the first name of his second daughter. Would have scored you too many points there, would have scored you 49. You're right at the bottom as well, the film. It was The King's Speech, again would have scored you too many points. Would have scored you 55. And if you'd had to guess the university, what would you have gone for?
Cambridge.
Cambridge. Would have scored you 4 points. So would have won you that point.
Thanks very much indeed. OK, here comes your decider, the third question. Whoever wins this goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot. It concerns Dreamcoat colours. Dreamcoat colours, Richard.
We're now going to show you the names of 5 colours from the song Joseph's Coat from Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. But we're only going to give you the first and last letter. Can you fill in the gaps and give us the most obscure colour, please? Very best of luck.
OK, let's reveal our 5 colours with missing letters, and here they are. We have got O blank 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 E, L blank 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 C, R blank 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 T, G blank 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 N, and C blank 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 E. I'll read those again without the blanks. O-E, L-C, R-T, G-N, and C-E. There we are, 5 colours of the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Now, Toby and Kat, you go first again.
We're going to go for the top one and say ochre.
Ochre. Ochre, say Toby and Kat. Simon and Steve, the board is all yours. Can you take us through all those colours?
So, second one, lilac. Third one, russet. Fourth one, green. Fifth one, we didn't have a clue on, but I think we'll go for russet.
You're going to go for russet. So we have ochre versus russet. Toby and Kat said ochre. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said ochre. It's right. $13 for ochre. Simon and Steve, you've gone for russet. Let's see if russet is right. And if it is, let's see how many people said that. It is right. Now then, is russet going to beat 13? Down it goes. Oh, 21 for russet. 2 very, very good answers. But ochre pips it. Which means Toby and Kat, very, very well done. After 3 questions, you're through to the final 2-1.
Well played, both teams there. Yeah, it's that bottom one is that's the winner if anyone can get it. We'll get to that last. We'll start with green, which is a big scorer. Would have scored you 97 points. Lilac, also quite a big scorer. That would have got you 77. Now the bottom one is the best answer on the board, 8 points. Any clue on the bottom one?
Well, chocolate would fit.
Chocolate would fit and does fit is chocolate. 8 points. Very well done if you said that. If you know the song, you can work it out, but that's a terrific answer.
Thanks very much indeed. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, I'm afraid it's Simon and Steve. I knew that was going to be a hard-fought head-to-head, and it was so close in the end. Well, it's been great having you on both shows. Thanks so much for playing, Simon and Steve. I'm sorry we have to say goodbye now, but great contestants. Thank you. But for Toby and Kat, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Toby and Kat. You've seen off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy, so very, very well done. Thanks. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £7,000. Now, as always, you start this round by choosing a category for yourselves. Here are your 4 options. Best of luck. Easy listening music, sporting achievements, US politics, Irish geography.
We don't know anything about Irish
there's only
geography
one
at
up
all. Sporting achievements, it depends what it is. If it's the Olympics.
There's one that, if it was like football, Ballon d'Or, it could be all right. But US politics, we can both have a crack at. So I think
Well,
that.
if it's sporting, sorry, if it's sporting achievements, it might be football or tennis Grand Slam winners or US politics.
The politics we know. I'd say,
Really?
yeah. It's up, well,
Okay, US
you've done the
politics.
best so far today. So
US politics.
OK, US politics is the one you're going to go for. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to give you 3 different options in this category. Hopefully somewhere here is something you can give us a good answer for. We're looking for any 20th century Republican Secretary of State, so any Secretary of State that was appointed by a Republican president. We are looking for any vice presidential candidates who lost an election since 1945. And we're looking for any speakers of the House of Representatives in its entire history. So any 20th century Republican Secretaries of State, any unsuccessful post-war vice presidential candidate, and any speakers of the House of Representatives. For anyone who really knows their American politics, there's lots of good stuff in there, and I hope you do too.
OK, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that jackpot of £7,000 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Now, remember, the answers you give can come from any of those categories. 1 from each, 2 from one, 1 from another, all 3 from one, if you like. It's entirely up to you. Are you ready?
Yes.
OK, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
OK, I think the Vice President, I think Schuyler Colfax was Vice President, but I don't know if he was an unsuccessful post-war Vice President.
Okay.
12th century Republican Secretary of State.
Colin Powell.
Big ones up.
Struggling with that one.
Casterly.
Speakers of the House of Representatives. I'm thinking Nancy Pelosi, but is House of Representatives the Senate or?
Well,
I
we'll
don't
have
know.
that. Nancy Pelosi. Schuyler Colfax.
How long have we got left? Vice President.
Adams. Quincy Adams, wasn't it?
Michael Dukakis has popped in my head. I don't know why. John McCain. Sarah Palin is obvious.
If they're right, they'll win points, will we?
No. Should we go for Colin Powell?
He'll be high, won't he? Got Schuyler Colfax for the post-war. Who else did you say was?
Nancy Pelosi, a guess for
for the
Speaker.
Nancy Pelosi. OK, Schuyler Colfax. Is it all?
10 seconds left.
What was the other one you said?
John McCain.
That's too high. Joe Biden. Too high. Truman, for instance.
OK, that's your time up. I now need your 3 answers.
OK. Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi,
For Speakers of the House.
Speakers of the House of Representatives, yeah.
I know Schuyler Colfax was a vice president, so maybe he was unsuccessful at it as well.
Schuyler Colfax.
And should we go for
Colin Powell?
Yeah, Colin Powell.
Colin Powell.
And Colin
Secretary of
Powell.
The Secretary of State.
OK, now, of those 3, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
One of the first 2.
Nancy Pelosi?
Yeah,
Let's put
Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi last. Sounds like a good answer. Which is your least likely, do you think?
Or Colin Powell?
Colin Powell, yeah. That'd be
OK,
high.
Colin Powell, we'll put first. OK, let's put those up on the board in that order, and here they are. We have Colin Powell as a Republican Secretary of State. We have Schuyler Colfax as a defeated vice presidential candidate. And we have Nancy Pelosi as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Well, very, very best of luck. Your first answer, the one you thought was probably least likely to be pointless, was Colin Powell. Now, if this is correct and it is pointless, you will win £7,000. What would you do with that, Toby?
I think we'd probably spend it on a holiday. Our little boy's not been on a plane, and he would like to.
Desperate to go on a plane. Or a
Definitely.
helicopter.
Yeah, probably a plane with £7,000.
Good stuff. OK, well, very, very best of luck. 3 good answers up there on the board. Let's hope one of those wins that jackpot for you. Colin Powell, was he a Republican Secretary of State in the 20th century? No, he wasn't.
21st, yeah.
You spotted that just
Yeah.
after you'd given your answers. Bad luck. Bad luck. Well, your second answer, this is a great answer, Schuyler Colfax. And this just is one of those names you carry around with you everywhere you go.
Understandably, it's a good
Well, I think we'll all be carrying Schuyler Colfax around for some time. OK, well, let's find out. If it's correct and if it's pointless, it will win you £7,000. Schuyler Colfax, was he a defeated vice presidential candidate? No, bad luck.
Wasn't post-war.
Bad luck, Schuyler Colfax, an incorrect answer as well, which means everything is now riding on your third and final answer. The answer, though, that you thought was probably most likely to be pointless, Nancy Pelosi. So let's find out. For £7,000, has Nancy Pelosi ever been Speaker of the House of Representatives? She has. It's a correct answer. Your first answer, Colin Powell, was incorrect. Shyla Colfax, your second answer, was incorrect. Nancy Pelosi, on the other hand, right on the money. Down she goes. Down it goes. No! Oh, no. Oh, that is such bad luck. Oh, that's so unfair. One person remembered Nancy. I mean, that's a brilliant answer. I mean, whichever way you look at it, that's a great answer. Well done knowing Nancy Pelosi, but galling.
Yeah, pretty hard to take.
I'm really sorry, that is so unlucky. Unfortunately, you haven't found that all-important pointless answer, which means you don't win today's jackpot of £7,000. That rolls over onto the next show, but we've loved having you on the show. And you do, of course, get to take home your pointless trophies each, so very well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What about that?
Yeah, that's really unlucky, guys. And do you know what? It's just about to get a little bit worse as well. Let me take you through the wrong answers. You go Colin Powell, it was a 21st century Secretary of State. Now, Skylar Colfax, he was a vice president, but a long time ago. It was in the 19th century, Skylar Colfax. He also had 3 spells as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. So if you'd given his name in answer to that question, you would have just won £7,000.
Oh, no.
That is really, really unlucky. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at some of the pointless answers in the different categories. 21st century Republican Secretary of States, you could have had Alexander Haig, you could have had Frank B. Kellogg, also won the Nobel Peace Prize, you could have had George Shultz and John Foster Dulles. There's another couple of more recent ones. James Baker and Lawrence Eagleburger would have won you the money there. Unsuccessful post-war vice presidential candidates. There's some really recent ones here. Bob Dole, who ran unsuccessfully with Gerald Ford. You could have had Geraldine Ferraro, who ran with Walter Mondale. Walter Mondale himself, also a pointless answer on this one. Joseph Lieberman, who ran unsuccessfully with Al Gore. And Paul Ryan, who was Mitt Romney's vice presidential running mate. He would have been a pointless answer. Another couple of ones, you could have had Jack Kemp, you could have had Earl Warren, John Edwards, Lloyd Benston. All of those were pointless answers. And speakers of the House of Representatives, Dennis Hastert, James Polk, Jim Wright, Tom Foley. The name not up there is, of course, Skylar Colfax, who did it 3 times a long time ago. It's unlucky, isn't it?
Oh, that is so unlucky. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to you, Toby and Kat, but it's been great having you on the show. You have performed so well throughout the show. You can really leave with your heads held high. Fantastic performance on the show. I'm sorry you don't leave with that £7,000 jackpot as well, though you certainly deserve it. Thanks so much for playing, Toby and Kat. Great contestants. Well, very sadly, Toby and Kat didn't win our jackpot today, which means it rolls over onto the next show when we will be playing for £8,000. Join us next time, see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.